Despite demands from the state that they end this wildcat strike and even some incentives for them to do so, these corrections officers remain off the job at several New York State prisons, some of which, like here at Attica, are now being staffed by National Guard troops. Corrections officers were told if they ended their wildcat strike by midnight last night, they would not be subject to discipline for having walked off the job in defiance of the Taylor law. They were told they could earn up to 2.5 times their hourly rate if they went back in. But most today said no thanks, telling us the staffing shortages, which mandated them to often work double or triple shifts, would still be present. And when it comes to the state's pledge to temporarily lift elements of the HALT Act, which restricts discipline on prisoners and which officers say has emboldened inmates to act up without consequence, resulting in record numbers of assaults on staff and the incarcerated, they figure the state would just put it back into effect as soon as they go back in. So you don't blame these guys for saying no thanks?
I can't blame them. They want better working conditions. They deserve better working conditions. It doesn't mean that every single aspect of the HALT Act is bad and it needs to go. It needs to be looked at by people that actually understand the business that these men and women deal with.
Meanwhile, Alyssa Clausell has been speaking to state lawmakers and prison reform advocates about the HALT Act and joins us now with more. Alyssa?
Hey there, Dave. The HALT Act, as you said, continues to remain at the epicenter of this strike. And Governor Hochul's recent move to suspend parts of the act, well, as you pointed out, it doesn't seem to please anyone or go far enough in either direction. As of right now, the law has not been officially repealed or amended. As corrections officers have pointed out, it very well could go back to the way it was, which is a limited use of solitary confinement. That's 15 days max or 20 days in a 60-day period, and none at all for vulnerable populations. It's something that advocates from the Osborne Association, a prison reform group on the ground in 39 prisons around the state, want to ensure remains law. But before you hear that, here's Congressman Tim Kennedy, who today placed the urgency of this situation on lawmakers in Albany.
The bottom line is that this has to be resolved. We want to make sure that they have an environment that they can work in that is safe, that is not threatening, that is not violent. And at the same time, those that they're protecting within these prisons have equal protections and equal safety.
We're just not sure what the exceptions are. The HALT Act has passed, and so I'm not sure, and on the ground, we're not sure what exceptions might be put in place at this time.
That's the voice of Jonathan Monsalve there, the CEO of the Osborne Association, making the point that although we do know that certain elements of the HALT Act have been paused, there's still major question of what exactly that is and how long it will last. And what we do know, as we can say, there are talks about to mediate the situation. They continue, and a scheduled mediation between the Correctional Officers Union and the state are set to begin on Monday. On your side, Alyssa Clausell, Channel 2 News.